Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? Hump day. Ready for the weekend. Preparing for the weekend. There's Tanya. Let us see if the busy bar cart, hello. Let me wait for Jess. Hey, Robin. Hey, Lynn. How is everyone? There she is. Jess, how are you? And Jerry. Hey.
Hi there. How are you?
Good. Let me see if I thought I got Tanya. Let me see if I can get her back. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
Good. You ready for the weekend?
Oh my gosh, no, but absolutely. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. Hey, Carol. Um, I'm too. It was funny because I was in Seattle yesterday. I had a business trip up there Monday, Tuesday, and then came back home, and then I'll be up there again Friday, Saturday. So,
Oh goodness.
um, that's right. Alaska Airlines is making their. Oh, says YarnCraft is unable to join.
Oh
Hold on.
no.
I know. Let's see. It could just be a connection thing. Sometimes, hey Nina, how are you? Sometimes these tech things get a little wonky. Carol said she left it down the line for me. There she is. Alaska Airlines is making oh, this is unable to join.
Oh no.
So now I see you there. Or I see your yarn. There you are. Sometimes these but look, the good news is it doesn't seem like it's going to be brutally hot.
No, I think it's going to be a good weekend and it's busy for sure. Hi there.
Hi there. It seems to only work on my phone versus my laptop.
I've never tried to do one of these on a laptop. I find the interface a little wonky anyway on Instagram. But yeah, it's I've only ever done it on a phone. I think maybe a tablet for some, I don't know why a tablet's different than a laptop. Hi, Stuart. Hey, Nicole. Um, so thank you guys. Thank you both for Jess and I were just talking about. We're both going to be at Flock Fiber Festival this weekend in Seattle. So we are. I'm very excited. I started getting really, really excited about that yesterday on my way back on the plane. So I just want to, before we jump into your collaboration, I just want to give anyone who may not know what this is all about, just a little bit of a background on the crochet along. So it's okay, Annie. She says, "Oh, this is a crochet. No offense, but I'm leaving." So, tough, tough crowd. My name's Gary. I'm a knitter and I'm a crocheter. And I am also a cyclist and fundraiser for AIDS Life Cycle, which is an annual 7-day, 545-mile bike ride from San Francisco to Los Angeles, which raises money for the San Francisco AIDS Foundation and the Los Angeles LGBT Center. It's their largest fundraiser of the year. This will be my 6th year doing the ride. Back when I started, I set a long-term goal of raising $200,000 over 10 years. I'm, fingers crossed, going to hit that number this year, so I'll be able to take a little bit of break from the ride and give my aging legs a break. As part of my fundraising, I have, for the last 3 years, run a series of knit-alongs and crochet-alongs where we get indie dyers and indie designers, team them up to put together patterns and yarn kits, and then quarterly we all work together on the same patterns, have some fun, and raise a little money for my Age Life Cycle fundraising. So we are kicking off the season 3 knit-alongs and crochet-alongs with the biggest event we've ever done. We have 7 patterns. We have 5 different designers, 5 different dyers. We are going big, but we're thinking small in terms of project sizes, because everybody loves to have a little grab and go project, especially in the fall when the thoughts turn to sweaters and big shawls and things like that. I always love to have a little project that I can work on in between. So we're doing all accessories for the knit-alongs and crochet-alongs this time. So we are wrapping up our announcements with what I said on my grid. I'm not saying I'm saving the best for last because I love all my children equally, but we are definitely saving the funkiest for last. So with me today, we have Tanya from I'm going to get right, YarnGoneWild-Yarncraft, and Jess from Jadawoo Designs, who have teamed up for what I think is going to be a super fun project for everybody. So maybe Tanya, let me kick it off with you. I always like to get everyone's sort of fiber origin story, how you got into this line in terms of, did you come through crochet or were you always a designer, and just kind of how you got into the crochet design business?
Well, thanks for letting me speak first. I can talk to a stop sign, Gary. You've been and Jess, how you doing, Jess?
So good. It's so good to see you.
You too. So, like many, I was taught by my grandmother when I was a little kid in Jersey, sitting out on the porch in the summer. I learned how to knit, crochet, embroider, sew, all that kind of good stuff. Fast forward, you get into a corporate life. Yeah, you make a little scarf here for a doll, or a little something for your kid, and you never pick it back up. Fast forward, here comes the pandemic. I've transitioned out of retail executive leadership, so I come out of fashion, and I'm coming out of culinary school at this point, and cannot for the life of me figure out what am I going to do with all this downtime, because I've got the fashion thing, which would have been a consulting sort of world, and then the food thing, which was really done so I could work with not-for-profits. Best friend said, "Hey, you want to take a crochet lesson online?" I was like, "No." I already know how to crochet. That's number one. And then no, but she kept at it, and we took a crochet class online. Pretty simple, single crochet to make a little fingerless glove. Second lesson, you learn how to change colors. And you know what? I really liked it. I vibed it. And I had just happened to have, hooks and stuff upstairs from, again, when I was making little doll clothes for my now 20-something-year-old. And I just kept at it, and I kept getting better. And it gave me a space to be in, to create in, that I didn't know that I even needed. And it was, I had never heard of a thing called a local yarn store. That was all new. And we have them here in Charlotte. We have local yarn stores. We actually have dyers. So I went from ordering off the internet, not understanding what I was getting. And I understand yarn and stuff from a huge manufacturing perspective, from producing thousands, if not millions of things. But from a individual perspective, it was a little bit more challenging. So I got all kinds of stuff that I received in 2020 that I just need to gift. I just really gifted. Because then I learned about indie dyers. And that was like everything. It was everything. And yes, I can go big box, medium sort of price point, as well as indie dyers. But there's something about that indie dyer yarn that you cannot replicate. And again, I come out of that world, so I'm pretty familiar with dyes and formulas and things of that nature. So that's my short version.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. And, if you have all that stuff, some of that stuff, not to plug my own horn here, but if you have all the stuff you need to gift, I would direct you to D-Stash for Good, which is my online fiber auction where you can sell it off.
I've benefited from bidding on, and there's a whole thing with the bidding, but we can talk about that.
There's a whole strategy that happens that people get into, just kind of like eBay in the early days. So Jess, how about you? Now you're a dyer. We're going to see you at Flock Fiber Fest, where you're going to be vending. But how did you come to that? Was it also through crochet and knitting, or was it just something you picked up on its own?
I've been a knitter forever. Learned how to knit when I was about 10. My mom taught me. And knitting has been a part of my life for many, many years now. And it's something that I lean on during times of high stress, or when I want to make something amazing for someone, or when I want to keep myself busy, which means I go and I do the yarn crawls and everything else so that I can find the perfect skeins of yarn. Go back 2020, I went to a yarn crawl right before everything shut down, and I was on the hunt for a particular colorway. I had a pattern, I had a vision, and I needed to find the right colorway to make it work, and I couldn't find it. During the crawl, I didn't find that. I also found a pattern that I fell in love with. It required 3 colorways. I found 2 and figured, oh, I'll find the third one later, no big deal. It was a big deal. I looked through, it felt like hundreds of different purples, and couldn't find the right color. And so at that time I realized makers need an opportunity not just to be creative, but to be able to show who they are through their creativity. And so I wanted to add to that. I wanted to add to the colorways available. I wanted to add different bases and different things so that people can get creative in their own way and just enjoy the process.
Right. Right. You both have such a unique vision. I mean, I think it's what you both stand out. So I think it's amazing that you all found each other to work together. Before you guys were working together before I got into the picture. So I think it's sort of amazing that 2 super creative folks in this business were able to sort of team up and to have products and patterns and products that sort of mesh so well together to create these projects. Just in terms of the crochet along, and then we're gonna get right into the pattern, but just for folks joining, it's gonna run from September 1st through October 31st. So there's plenty of time leading up to it, but we always roll these things out, or I try to, weeks ahead of time, to give the dyers a chance to run these things as a pre-order, so that you can get your orders in just enough time to dye up the yarn and get it to you in time for cast on. This round of knit-alongs and crochet-alongs, we're using an entry ticket model. So on my coffee page, and this will all be linked below when I post this on Instagram, but the entry ticket's $3. It's in my coffee page, and that's how you get entered into the giveaways that we run throughout the thing. That's also the fundraising aspect of the pattern sales. Yeah, so that's basically it. Buy your ticket, buy the pattern, buy some yarn, and you're good to go. So let's talk about this pattern. So this, and I hope everyone goes from this. If you're not familiar with Tana's pattern, go and look through the whole catalog, because it is fun and funky and colorful. But this is a sort of tweak of an existing pattern that you have. But why don't you, rather than me explain it, why don't you tell us all about it?
So it's called Save the Bun, and that's Save and DAH Bun. And it came out of my best friend, who again got me on this whole crochet journey again, going out to Colorado to visit her son and seeing all the shapes and stuff I was doing, saw something that, allowed people who have that or not, get coverage, be warm, but yet not have all this smushy down, whether you have a ponytail or an Afro puff or whatever it is, or just a bun. And so one thing led to another. I talk a lot with my hands. One thing led to another, sample after sample, and ended up coming up with this thing called Save the Bun. Not thinking at that time that, it was going to be a vehicle for all that it has been. So it's the impetus of it, and the fact that, once we reveal it, you'll see, if you don't know about it already, that you can wear it open, you can pull it together, and it becomes kind of like the closest thing you're going to get from a beanie from me. So that was kind of where it started. And then it takes on a life of its own, particularly with Jess's yarn.
So why don't we show it? and then we'll show the pattern, and then we'll talk about the yarns, because we've got two different colorways, which I think is super super exciting. Okay, here we go.
Woo!
So 3 colors.
3 colors.
Now you said you can cinch it up. You can cinch it up at the top. Is it like a draw? Oh, there it is. Oh, it is. Wow. Okay. So you can pull it together like that to get the beanie effect, or you can keep it open. And what I loved about this is that, yes, so it's a hat, it's a beanie, it's a bun hat, it's a beanie. You could also wear it around your neck as a neck warmer. You could add a couple of repeats in if you wanted a looser cowl type of situation. So the versatility is what I love about the pattern. And in terms of construction, if we are a beginner crocheter or a not so advanced crocheter, is this something that folks are going to be able to work on?
I think so. I put it as an intermediate pattern simply because it has post stitches.
Okay.
And then color work, I think, puts things into that category as well. But once you get into it, you sail through it.
Okay.
It's the bottom up because it's a rib start, but it's using all the basic stitches. There's no stands or bobbles or clusters in here. So as long as you can manage the post stitch, and I do have on the pattern itself, I do have links to videos.
Okay.
Who have mastered, or who I think have done a good job in showing how to do a post, etc., that people can reference. But wait, I want to show the other colorway. Can I show the other colorway?
Yeah. So we got two palettes, kind of a warm palette, and then I would call this the cool palette. Oh, I love that. I love that teal and that purple together. So Jess, why don't you walk us through the color palette, the colors and the color palette, and talk a little bit about the base, because this is not your everyday base.
No, so I love the base. I can't tell you guys how much I love the base. So it is a 60/40 merino wool silk blend, and it is just heavenly. It is cool to the touch. It drapes well. And when I had the opportunity to become a part of this project, I wanted to pick a base that felt luxurious. We're making accessories that are up close to your skin, they're touching your hair, they're rubbing against your head. Wool can be rough, but wool with silk, that's magical. And so I felt like it was the right thing, sent some samples, and it was amazing. Yeah. Now let's talk about the colors. So I wore black today because black is my go-to. But that's not my personality. My personality has a little bit of pop to it, right? And so I feel like a lot of people wear neutral colors. So I wanted to pick some colorways, some warms and some cools, so that people can show their personality while wearing, maybe they're neutral people, maybe they're not, but it definitely goes well with just about anything. So we've got our warm tones that definitely say fall. We've got Curiosity, which has some blends of reds, oranges, yellows, nice warm tones with a fawn colored brown, and then Honey Nut, which is just one of my favorites. Right. And then the cool colorway, so we have that teal. Teal is one of my favorite colors, so we got to work teal in there. Purple and teal are meant to be together, and then that variegated, we've got purples and teals in there all blended together to pull it all together.
Right, and that the variegated colorway in the coolest. Is that the meadow?
It is. It's Violet Meadows. Mm-hmm.
So we're calling it the Curiosity Kit because of the Curiosity. So they're named after the two variegated colors. So the Curiosity Kit and the Meadows Kit. Yeah. I've never done. I've never worked with a merino silk, so I am
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And since I'm not in a super hot climate, I feel like it'll be a nice fabric for a not so cold climate.
Well, it actually is, because when we started to work on this as well as another project, I had different weights that just, and I do have one worked up in a heavier weight, which is nice as well. But the nice thing about this wool silk blend is that it can go from Washington State to the Carolinas,
Right.
and you're covered. And just the properties of wool just naturally sort of insulate you and keep you warm. What I like about the silk edition is that it brings a little bit of a sheen. It's just enough slip.
Right. Right.
I like. I don't necessarily crochet super fast, but I like a fast yarn.
So we have a couple questions, and Lynn, you are segueing perfectly into what is my second favorite thing about this whole thing, or I shouldn't say second favorite thing, but so I love the versatility of the individual piece. But with the kit, you get enough yarn to make how many? 3. So 3 of, so you can do all the permutations, and I think, Tanya, you have 3 of each, right?
I have 2. Let's go with this one. I have 2 of these. Jess has the other one.
Okay. So yeah. So yes, you get enough to make 3 of the things. This sort of ties into something else that I've been talking about, and you were going to hear me talk about more. So in addition to doing the knit-alongs and the crochet-alongs this fall, which are the fundraisers for my bike ride, one of the reasons I also wanted to do accessories is that I wanted to do an accessories drive for Knit the Rainbow, which is an organization that collects and distributes handmade accessories for LGBTQ plus homeless youth in New York, Chicago, and Detroit now. And so the thought being was, we're going to be working on accessories. I don't expect everyone to donate all of these beautifully indie-dyed yarn accessories to charity necessarily, but if you're buying a kit and you want to make a couple for you and to give away, and then you have a spare to make one other, and you want to put that in the pile to Knit the Rainbow. But we're going to be running an accessories drive, not just with these patterns, not just with these yarns, although if you use these yarns and or these patterns for one of your Knit the Rainbow donations, you'll get some bonus entries into the giveaways for the accessories drive. So I love that you get, it's a 3-fer. You get, like, you get three out of your kit. I love the efficiency of trying to use every last every last inch of yarn, and it gives you an opportunity to play with the color order and just kind of see how these things, the different stitches, how different stitches work with the color. The other question that came up was, from Carrie, is the drawstring an I-cord?
I'm not quite sure of the definition of an I-cord, but it's definitely a cord that I crocheted with size 3 or 3.5 hook. I don't know if you can see it.
I see it. So it's not just a chain,
right?
Okay, so there must be. I see. This is where my the crochet expertise falls apart. I-cord is a knitting thing, but I assume there is some sort of version of that in the crochet world.
I think this is the equivalent of it. Although very well just do a chain as well, because the arm will hold up for that.
Sure.
Once
the name of the is Save DAH Bun, and then on Ravelry, it's the one that says GKGR, Gary Knits, Gary Rides at the end.
Right. So anybody has bought a previous pattern, it's not even there anymore. So
so yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jerry. That's Save the Bun.
On Ravelry as well as my site is where people can buy it, and it's Save the Bun GKGR.
Right.
So,
I always have to think about it.
Yeah, Gary, I fixed it.
Yeah.
Knit.
So the pattern is up on Ravelry already. Jeff, in terms of the yarn kits, when are folks gonna be able to get those?
They are available now on my website, so they are live. So pop over and check them out.
Yep.
So can I talk a little bit about the kits?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I wanted to put together kits that were value add for everyone and allowed me to contribute to the fundraiser as well. And so these skeins, the 60/40 merino wool silk, are normally $34. You can get all 3 for $95, so there is savings for the buyer.
Wow.
and then 45 of each kit will go to your fundraiser.
Wow.
And so it is a great opportunity for our makers to get some great yarn and to be able to give to this incredible cause.
No, that is amazing. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a great deal for folks to, and also to, if they have never tried a merino silk base, to grab some of that, play around with it, and see how it works. I did want to say, because you had said if you know how to do, post stitch is about as difficult as it is. I count myself in the sort of like low end of intermediate, and I have done front and back post stitches. And so if you are, if you've mastered single, double crochets, and that's the next step, it's a really easy new skill to pick up, and does some really nice texture stuff to the fabric. So I think everyone can join in and do that way. Now, are you going to have any of this at Flock or no?
Potentially. That's my goal. We'll see how quickly everything sells, because I do have some kits ready to go already. So we'll see what I can make happen.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Do not.
Well, you have some hat samples.
Ooh. I do. So there will be hats there for people to check out, so they can see them up close. And if I'm out by the time people come, they can definitely order online, and I can help them with that.
And yet,
in terms,
someone just asked a question.
Go ahead.
They asked, "Is it a front post?" And yes, it is.
Front post. Okay, Carrie asked. Okay, and then the pre-order, you're going to keep that open until the 16th.
Yes.
Okay. So that's just, and that again for everyone, that's just to make sure we can guarantee, or close to guarantee, that folks get their stuff in time for the cast on. And I always say this: if for whatever there's a shipping delay, do not panic about not having your stuff ready for cast on. That's why we make these things 2 months long, and reward participation more than completion in terms of the giveaways. All but one of the giveaways are for whips, and we only do one round for FO. So don't stress out if you aren't able to cast on day one. And and I should, and I always say, obviously, it is my goal that as many people as possible can buy these kits from Jess, to help her business and to help the fundraising aspect of it. But I never want sort of anyone's inability to sort of buy new yarn to hinder their participation in this in the knit-alongs. So if stash diving is what you need to do, by all means dive into your stash and have some fun with it. Have some fun with it that way. So I'm going to recap everything in just a little bit at the end, but there were a couple other things I wanted to chat about, and maybe I'm going to start with Jess this time, because I just saw that you are adding more to your plate by opening your own retail space.
I am.
So tell us all about that, and what your vision for this space is, and then kind of how people can help out in kind of making that a reality for you.
Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you for bringing that up. Super exciting times. It was something that's been a goal for me, and the opportunity has just come much more quickly than I had anticipated. So I am opening a dye studio that will have a retail storefront, and it will have a space for makers to come and gather and create together. You'll have the opportunity to connect with me while I'm dyeing in the dye studio, so it'll be an interactive opportunity. And my bigger vision with that, though, is working with opportunity youth and women at risk, and so having the opportunity to employ others that are a vulnerable population, and give them job skills and help them meet a whole different community. The fiber community is spectacular and very welcoming, and so not only building new relationships, building job skills, but also learning a creative way to just tap into your stress management. So super exciting for that opportunity. Lease is signed. And so now I am doing a Kiva loan. I'm in the funding phase. So anyone who's interested in supporting, you can pop over to my link tree, and there's a link to my Kiva loan. I need couple more people to be able to go into the private fundraising phase, and then we've got 35 days to raise the funds, and so it's exciting.
No one, if you have not ever done, I love Kiva. I think it's just such a
Yes.
cool program. So for folks who don't know, it's micro lending around the world.
Yes.
So different than GoFundMe because it's actually a loan. It's not just a donation thing, and they fund projects all over the world, and the loan amounts can be just $20, $15. I think this one is $5 to get you to the next thing.
Yes.
And they walk you through what each project is. So it's a really cool organization that does these sort of really small business loans kind of around the world. So Lynn is asking, where are you located? Where's the space going to be located?
It will be in Tacoma, Washington.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
And over time, I mean, so you said folks are going to be interacting with you in the dye studio. Or do you ever envision like teaching dyeing classes or?
Down the road, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got to get into this space first, but dye classes, knitting and crochet classes, and some other things. I want to make it an event space so that people can come and enjoy an adult night out while they knit and crochet and just have a different vibe.
Excellent. And then and then I won't get into your entire business plan, but and then are you envisioning that it is going to be a retail space for just your yarn, or are you hoping to bring in other dyers and other products to sort of round out the inventory?
Absolutely. So it'll start with just my yarn, but I will feature trunk shows and pop-ups with other dyers so that people have the opportunity to come and meet them in person. And then I'll feature notions, books, and other materials that are by other small business owners and makers so that there's a way for them to become known.
Awesome.
So.
That's so exciting. I wish you all the luck with getting through this next phase and turning that into reality. Now, Tanya, you mentioned culinary school, and you and I bonded a bit over when we first started chatting over our love of cooking. But it's not just that you went to culinary school and wanted to do some work on the nonprofit side of that, but you've also got cookbooks out there.
I do. Published a cookbook, self-published, found an amazing editor. If anybody ever wants an editor, I would love to recommend this person. And put together a combination of celebration foods, which we don't eat every day.
Mm-hmm.
We want to live another year, but we want to enjoy, as well as some other things that I do eat on the regular, and it did really well.
Nice.
I was really happy about it. Now, of course, I would have been happy if just my friends and family purchased it, but many others did. So pretty exciting. I cooked myself out, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So the beginning of this year, I wrote the followers or the subscribers a letter saying, I'm still cooking, but I'm going to have to pace it out now because 4 years of that back to back. And particularly when you write a cookbook, right? Because you're making the dish 3 and 4 times for the shots, for the text, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yes, I do that along with the fiber arts. And in fiber arts, what I'm really, really proud of is toward the end of last year, I got picked up by a gallery here in Charlotte, a fine arts gallery.
Oh, fantastic.
It's
called 9189. And the curator / owner, her name is Joanne. She sells fine art paintings for like $10,000-$20,000, but she saw something in what I was doing that said, you know what, this is wearable art.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how she is going to feature it. We're going to kick off everything, I think, at the end of August in terms of people being able to go and purchase finished hats, because more people want to buy the finished hats, even when they crochet, right? Or when they knit, more people want to buy the finished product than necessarily the pattern. So this is a way for folks to do that. So it's up now, but we're going to do a big push toward the end of the year. So Joanne Rogers is her name. 9189 Gallery is the gallery here in Charlotte. And you can look at all the other wonderful artists that are there because they are amazing.
Oh.
Amazing. So between the food and the yarn, I tell people I'm either hooking or cooking. And funnest way, in the funnest way.
Right. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And just it both opened up a world that I just didn't dream of. You know, being in fashion all my life.
Joanne is here.
That is Joanne. Oh, hey, Joe. Well done. Got on. But you know, just both avenues just provided something I didn't know that I needed or that I do. My whole groove is tied to helping move humanity forward, and humanity is someone or something.
Sure.
So what I'm doing is gotta march to that drum, or I'm proud to do it. So meeting people like you, meeting people like Jess. Jess, by the way, we look like we could be cousins. I mean, we're wearing black.
I know.
I'm like, we got the lip thing going. I'm looking at him like, she looks like she could be related to me. She's not. You know, oh my gosh. But at any rate, just amazing opportunities. And Gary, I'm sure that everybody joins me in just thanking you for finding us, for doing what you, and if you don't know Gary's story, guys, you need to read or talk to him or something, because it's amazing. But you find us.
Yeah.
You find, bring us to.
Yeah, I would say, you know, as much as the fundraising aspect of this is wonderful, it really has been the highlight of this whole thing for me is meeting new dyers and designers. I mean, every time I put one of these together, 3 more people that I didn't know come into my radar, and it's been a ton of fun to do that. It's been inspiring to me. I never ever, if you had asked me 3 years ago about maybe designing something, I would have been, come on, like I can barely make it through. And now all of a sudden, you know, it's percolating back there. And there may be something happen in the next year or so on that front. So it's been, I mean, I'm inspired by what all of the dyers and the designers do, and it's been just a real thrill to meet everybody. And hopefully, over the years, I'm getting to meet Jess in person this week. Hopefully,
I'm jealous. Oh my God.
Things will come together as the world opens back up a little bit, and people are getting back together again. You know, hopefully we can make that happen as well. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. But it's just been a real pleasure to get to know everybody and to be turned on to these, you know, new designs and things like that. And hopefully to, you know, as I say, you know, I think I said to both of you when I pitched this, you know, having fun is the #1 idea. You know, getting you and your businesses in front of more people is #2, and then whatever money we can raise on the side is #3. So hopefully, you know, it's not just me that's discovering new people. It's a lot more people out there as well. I don't want to keep everyone too long, but let's just recap the whole thing. The Crochetalong starts September 1st, runs through October 31st. You will need an entry ticket to be involved in the giveaways. We do 5 rounds of giveaways, starting with the cast on, halftime, and then 3 at the end. For this crochet along, we have the beautiful Save Daban hat that is that Tanya is showing right now, which is a Swiss Army knife of design. It is a bun hat. It can be cinched together to make it more like a beanie, and then if you want to wear it around your neck, you can wear it as a neck warmer. Add a couple more repeats in there, and make it a looser cowl. So that is available currently on Ravelry and at YarnGoneWild-Yarncraft.com. That's YarnGoneWild-Yarncraft.com.
Yes.
On the website. Available right now. $7. Yes, I think that's right. And then for that, Jess at Jadawoo Designs has put together 2 different palettes of her beautiful merino silk base. There's the Curiosity palette, which is the warm one, which the one that Tanya is holding up right now, which is the more autumnal colors. And then there is the cooler palette, which is the Meadows palette with that beautiful teal and purple. You get 3 skeins in the kit for $95, which is a discount from it. I didn't do the math right in my head, but it's 106. So down from $106 regular price. So you're getting a bargain, and 40 of each,
45.
45 of each kit, which is amazing, is going to go to AIDS Life Cycle. You get enough yarn to make 3 of these, so it is really a great bargain. So the yarn is available now. I'm going to see Jess in a couple of days. We're going to do some photoing, and you will see us on if things are too wild at the booth, maybe we'll even go live for a couple seconds. So grab your yarn before the 16th when the pre-order is going to come down, and that'll make sure that Jess has time to get the yarn out to everyone. I cannot wait to see all of these different versions of this hat. I would say, one of the other big fun parts of this is, we not only seeing people working it up in the yarn, but just what the creativity that people do with taking the patterns, taking the yarns, and doing a whole different thing with it, a third way, and the creativity in this community is really just fantastic. So
I love it. Just to jump in, I love it when people make it their own.
Mm-hmm.
People purchase patterns like, well, I changed this, I hope you don't mind. Oh no, that's what it's about. Pattern is just a starting point.
Right.
Take it and do it. I like big, funky, headgear swag all the way live. So you can do too big or too bold.
Right.
Or if you want to bring it down and do whatever it is, make it your own.
Yeah.
It's just a off point.
Right. Yeah, that's fantastic. And it's been one of the great things about watching. And I should have mentioned to everyone up front, and you both are always welcome. Every Tuesday evening, we do a Zoom call. Valerie, who was on here before at Creations by Valerie, hosts it, and a bunch of us just get together for a couple hours starting at 7 p.m. On the East Coast time. And, for 90 minutes or so, everyone just kind of hangs out, shows out what we're working on. If you're participating in the knit along or not, everyone's welcome to come and share and just kind of sit around and gab. So it's a good time. So I think that is it. If there's anything, there's Lynn. She's one of our regular Zoomers. Anything from either of your ends that you think I've forgotten or missed that I should mention it?
No, you've covered it all.
Okay.
I think all the information's there, and also in your feed and all that kind of good stuff.
Just to that point, although I'm saying it to people who are watching, but I'm going to post this up on Instagram, and then later this evening, once it takes its time downloading, I will also post it up over on my YouTube channel, which is Gary Knits Gary Rides over there. And now that we have finished up the announcements, hopefully tomorrow I'm going to sit down and do a little mini episode of my podcast and just walk through all the patterns and things again. Put the pictures up, show everyone has all the information in one spot. So, is the yarn variegated? Carrie's asking. So, Jess, correct me if I'm wrong. 2 solids and 1 variegated in each kit, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm sure it's tonal, right? The solids are sort of tonal. Yeah. So variegated in each of the kits, and if you see the ones that Tanya is holding there, each version of it, the variegation goes in a different spot. So, those oranges and yellows are just so pretty. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough.
Yeah, Fang. Again, her sense of color, right? Again, big, bold, saturated. I love it. But she also has other things in the mix for people who don't vibe that. Yes. But the piece, Jess, you're my girl. You're my girl.
Well, I can't wait to squish it all this weekend in Seattle. But thank you both. I'll let you. I know you've got a lot to get done in the next 48 hours.
I'm going to make magic happen.
Thank you both so much for sitting down and taking some time and doing this. It has been a real treat working with you, and I can't wait to see all the projects get made from this event. So, thank you so much for your time and creativity.
Cool beans.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Okay, bye. Bye-bye.